the reason this is called Secret Garden is because to me, I love there's a verse in Genesis that says that God said to Adam and Eve, you can freely eat from any tree in the garden. He said you can eat freely from any tree. The knowledge of good and evil tree, which is the tree of judgment and condemnation and death, he said, when you eat from that, then you'll experience death. But the truth is, we don't need to experience death. We're free to eat from any tree in the garden. So we don't have to say, we don't have to judge, we don't have to condemn and say, if I eat from this, it's going to kill me. If I eat from that, it's going to hurt me. If I eat from that, I'm going to be judged. We need to be open and say, no, you know what? I have permission to taste the fruit of every single tree. And I think human beings are trees. I think we're the trees.
That's a
And we
that's a
give
good
off the fruit,
analogy.
our energy, our work, the things that we love to provide for people. Like you love to do what you do.
I
And
do.
I tasted the fruit of that and it was delicious and I love it. And it doesn't mean that I have to eat that every single day. I've tasted it, it's beautiful, and I definitely will come back again. But like you said, it's not just your fruit. There are other people who do that type of healing
Hmm.
modality, but
Absolutely.
not in the same exact way. And so
Well,
that's the
no.
beautiful thing. And we're allowed to, we are given permission to eat and experience the fruit of everybody's labor, the fruit of their heart, the fruit of their being, whoever they are. We can do that and stop trying to, put a label on it and say this is that. We can just be open to it and receive. And we don't have to park there. We don't have to stick with one person. We can move on if we
Oh
want to.
no. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, I
Mhm.
everybody has something to teach us,
Mhm.
and they
Yes.
have something to learn from us. There,
Yes.
there's every session is a healing session for me.
Yeah.
Every session.
I love it.
I learn something every session and every interaction.
Yeah.
So
I
but
love
that's
that.
always been my philosophy. Even back in the martial arts, when we were helping each other learn, we as
Yeah.
students would teach and give and receive. And
Wow.
it wasn't just the instructor that could teach us something, but my instructor was teaching us to be instructors.
Hmm.
And so I always wanted to be a teacher.
I
So I
love
feel
it.
like the more I teach, the more I
Yeah.
learn.
Wow.
And so, so
That's
yeah.
that's true humility. So I'd love to ask you, like, what are some things that you learned that maybe blew your mind, blew your socks off, in your interactions with people? Can you think of anything just off the top of your head?
Well, I don't know that anything is going to be earth-shattering to anyone here, but in recent sessions, well, I've just the last several sessions, it's been about the water and about the flow and
Wow.
about the joy, and energy is like water.
Mm,
So this there's been a lot of things that have come to me, but energy is like water. When it's stagnant and is not shared and
mm,
doesn't flow, it's it's tainted. It gets stagnant. It diminishes. It's like a pool of stagnant water. It's going to start growing bacteria. So energy has to be shared. And I keep getting the images of water and how much we need to sing to the water and praise the
mm.
water, and that the water is, in fact, one session that came up is that every this was a really cool session with my friend Mark, who I want to ask him before I talk too much about more about him, but that energy has to be shared, it has to be moving, and it's its own intelligent divine being.
Mm,
So, and then in that session also, abundance,
mm.
money, money, because we put energy into it, has become its own entity
Yeah, wow.
with intelligence. And in order to have abundance, we need to, in that way, in the money way, right? Because abundance is not just money. Ooh,
Right.
abundance is, for me, it's energy and spiritual I don't want to use the word thankfulness, but spiritual gratitude
Mm.
and appreciation that comes. And the biggest and most profound thing that's come to me is in my meditation is I was, and I'm going to be honest, it was after the session with your daughter.
Oh, wow.
I was thanking my guides, and
Mm.
they showed me how much in my meditation, how many people were thinking of me in a positive way,
Mm. Wow.
and showing gratitude to spirit about what I was able to help them unlock in themselves, like you said.
Hmm.
And it that blew me away. That that was one that really did, because I thought, am I making an impact? Because all I want to do is help.
Hmm.
And it's almost like a it's almost like an addiction. I hate to
Mm.
use that word, but if I'm not helping, if I'm not making a difference in someone's
Yeah.
life, I feel stagnant. I don't
Well, I
I don't
mean,
feel like me.
I just want to say right there, like, don't even try to put a negative label on that. That is your joy and your bliss,
Yeah.
and I want you to follow that because look at the impact that you have on the world when you follow your joy and your bliss. And that's the message that we all need to integrate. We all need to bring that into the deepest core of our being because it's already there. We just need to actually attach our being to it, that it's true, that our bliss, our joy has been put here for our purpose. Our purpose is to follow our joy and our bliss. And the fact that you get so much life from doing what is so healing for other people, you get a lot of life out of it. That's
Mhm.
something to keep you in line with continuing doing what is beneficial for the whole, not just for yourself, but it's for the whole. Because definitely when we're life giving to other people, it definitely just brings life back to us. That's just the reciprocity of being in flow, isn't it? Being in that abundance, being in that energy where we're not
Mhm.
stagnant and just
Yes.
using it on ourselves, like addictions
Yes.
actually
Oh, yeah.
turn out to be. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a good addiction in that
Yeah.
way, if I think about it. But what I was going to say is I always joke about, yes, I absolutely do want to take over the world with
Yeah.
light, with
Yeah.
one person's light at a
Yes,
time.
girl.
If I can turn on somebody's light and expose it and let it show, whose light are they going to turn on? And so
Hmm.
forth and so on. And then let's just take over the world with light. And that's what I see in my
It's beautiful.
meditations is lights are coming on everywhere and it's going to light up the world.
I
And I'm just
love
one
it.
piece of that. I'm just doing my part in that, just trying to do my part in that. I've
Well,
always
and the
wanted
the
to.
truth is, you are actually being so selfless. You're not focused on yourself, and you're being selfless in the sense that you want to see everybody else's light and see them light up. But by you wanting to do that, you are also lighting up and
Yes,
being a light. Like, so your selflessness, although we wouldn't call it that because we think, well, I'm doing it because I'm getting money, and so therefore it's not a good thing. You know how we label things like that,
hmm,
right? Well, of course you're going to give money because money is just an expression of that flow, right? Just the
it's just
expression of that
energy.
love, just that
It's a way,
energy. But
it's
we've
an energy
labeled it
storage.
just like the addiction. We've labeled it. We've said, well, and so we kind of feel like, oh, I'm not sure that's quite right. But the truth is, you are being absolutely selfless in your addiction, in your desire to light up the world, because we need your light. We need your light. So it's beautiful.
We need lots of light. We need
We do.
everybody's light to come
Hmm.
online.
Yeah.
But I didn't really feel like my light was coming online until I started
Mm,
getting deep into this practice. And well, my light was, I won't say that. My light has always been pretty out there, but I
nice.
didn't feel like I was being able to be helpful other than just being a light every day. And I get this so many times in so many sessions about just being being there. You're just holding the light. You're just sharing your light. You're bringing in the light, and maybe you don't in one session, you don't get this huge mission that you're supposed to be on. But many, many people get told, your light, you need to shine your light. You need to let your light shine, and you
Wow.
need to bring it to everywhere you go
Mm,
and in every room. And if it seems dark, you can light it up. Don't be afraid of their darkness. You can light up that room. You
mm,
be the light. You're here to
wow.
hold the light, and you're here to spread the light. And so when those come through, it sounds so cliche. You hear it up, but it's not. It
Right.
because you can do an experiment yourself. Walk into a room of a bunch of business people or anybody, that is not smiling, and make a joke.
Hmm.
It doesn't
Hmm.
have to be, oh, I'm the brightest light. I'm just the light, Just relate to those people.
Hmm.
Just relate to them on their level, at their level, wherever they are, and make them smile. And how will they remember you?
Hmm.
That that's what I've always done. I've always been kind of a magnet for a group. I will say that, but it wasn't until this started that I really felt a huge expansion of just
Wow.
being able to really propagate that light.
I love
So
it.
that's
Do you think that perhaps that expansion of that opening up of your light, do you think that came because you saw in yourself something that you didn't see before, that you actually went, wow, I actually really love to do that. And as you pursued that expanded and created more for you?
well, it's definitely an expansion, but I think there's a difference in passively are people who are passively needing to smile, or they don't realize they want help. They don't
Hmm.
realize they want to smile more. They don't realize they're stuck.
Right. Yeah.
And and just passing on that light may give them an indication of, hey, you know what? There could be more. I should go explore my spiritual side. I should
Wow.
start asking questions. But when people are coming to you and they are actively pursuing some unlocking and they actively want to work on their spiritual awareness and whatever's bothering them, whatever's blocking them, they actively want to get rid of those blocks. They actively want to help themselves. That's that's a huge invitation for me
Yeah.
because I don't want to be a busybody. I don't try to guide them in any direction
Hmm.
except back to themselves and back to their
Yeah.
higher selves and back to their guides and back to those that can help them. So
Yes.
there's a difference about sharing energy passively and making people smile in a crowd that you never know and will probably never see again. And
Mm.
there's a lot to be said for that.
Hmm.
But like you said, I really lit up when I was working with people who actively want to make that difference, want to make that
Wow.
leap. So there is
Hmm.
a huge difference in the energy, but still it's all
Right.
important, that
So
joy and that energy.
it's almost like for those who don't want to open up to that or aren't even aware of it, that your desire bounces off of them. But for those who come to you and they say, "Hey, I have this, I don't know what to do with it. Can you help me?" And you
Yeah.
feel it and like your energy flows with theirs, and then you
Mhm.
can actually see some movement.
And that's
I
actually that's actually the basis of the induction. I don't know if you remember the induction, but
I
the heart
don't.
induction when we're well, I know, and but the heart induction is it's a, what it states is that I am combining my heart with yours
Mm,
for
yeah.
your spiritual journey, whatever
Mm,
that may be. And that's the heart and mind induction, where part of the induction, where I say we're asking only for the highest and greatest and most benevolent energies, expressions, and I combine my guides with your guides.
mhm.
Again, I don't know if you remember that
I
part,
do
but I
remember that.
invite
Yeah.
all of your guides, all of your soul family, yourself as a higher, your higher self, and you as an ascended master from the future. So
Yes.
we ask, and that's not my induction, that's beyond quantum healing. I don't want to take credit for all of the induction process.
Mhm.
So, and you can find Candace Craw Goldman is the founder of that under Dolores Cannon, who is quantum healing, quantum hypnosis healing techniques.
Wow.
That that's all a big school and it's all,
Yes, it is. Yes.
but I don't want to take credit for their inductions. But that
Mm,
is what the induction says. We're going to combine your heart, my
Mm,
guides, your guides, our hearts, and we're going to do this together. And I'm just going to be on your team and on your side. And I just want to go with you through your journey. And I'm going to help you get through any blocks because I don't know if you remember this, but during hypnosis, I'll give you a toolbox. And if there's any wall we need to break down, or if there's any mirrors we need to look at, or any tools we
mm,
need, I'm going to bring those. I'm very active in
mm.
in in breaking down blocks.
Love it.
So as you can tell from my personality, I'm not standoffish. I'm I'm a very head on person. And if
Gorgeous.
we have as a society, and I don't know how long this has been going on, but this was a huge revelation for me. This society has taught us to stuff our pain down,
Hmm.
swallow it, bury
Hmm.
it, don't look at it. And if you're afraid, push it back.
Yeah.
And I say no.
Yeah.
I say no. I hit everything head on. I don't allow, I say I don't allow. I don't very easily allow someone to just say, nope, we're not going there. We're not breaking that down. I'm scared. Like, nope, I'm here with you. Your team's with
Yes.
you, and we're
Hmm.
going head on in.
Hmm.
And so I'm kind of a head-on collision girl. So if you're not ready for that,
Mm. Well,
you
I
you
just
may not.
wanted to interject again and just say, like, I think that's one thing that I felt about you is you actually gave me the feeling, like energetically, that I was being supported by your heart and by your
Mhm,
intention. And the induction, I do remember parts of it. I felt such clarity about it. There was nothing in there that I felt was overwhelming or imposing upon me. It
mhm,
was just embracing my free will. And I felt like this was really about how I wanted it to be. Like it's not about how you want it to be or what you're
mhm,
creating for me. You were really holding that space for me, and I felt very supported. And for those who know Jeff, he felt the same way, and he's not easy to open up. And same with my daughter
mhm,
Emily, she was the same way, and I'm sure you found that. She can be very closed and needing, wanting somebody to go into that closed space with her, but she doesn't open up to just anybody. And so for her to open up with you the way that she did, and she was very excited about her session with you as well, that says a lot. And
it does.
so and just to, comparatively speaking, for me personally, I've had a session that I felt was wonderful. It was very fruitful and really gave me a lot to chew on. It was a past life regression. It was fantastic. I really loved it. I enjoyed it. But the sense of being held in the same way wasn't there. And that may be because it was by a male, and that but I mean, males
Mm,
also have the capacity to be very comforting and
absolutely.
mothering and nurturing as well.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying that that's why, but it could just be your energy, and maybe it was the induction. I don't know. But that's certainly your heart's intention. I can feel that about you. So,
Well, and I joke again. I'm all about the laughter,
yeah.
and in so many sessions, um, it comes through that they say it's all fun. This is
Mm.
supposed to be fun. When did it quit being fun? You're
Mm.
supposed to be playing. You're
I love
supposed
it.
to be, these challenges are just challenges and they're just
Mm.
temporary. And you're taking them so seriously and
Hmm.
it's infecting your physical being. Why are you
Yes.
doing that? And I'm just going,
Hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah.
and they're saying this. Why are you being so serious? Laugh more. Even in my own session, I do swaps with other students who've recently got because I feel like it's important to spread this. So,
Hmm.
and even in my own self, I said, why are you forgetting the good times? Why are you just focused on everything that's so hard all the time? And I'm
Yeah.
guilty of it.
Hmm.
And so one of my guides came through and she's a very rotund woman with large pink hair with maracas. And
Love it.
now every time that I start getting too serious, I get this mental image of her playing the
Yes.
maracas going, this is fun, this is fun. And I'm like, where did that come from? But
That's beautiful.
and that's from but back to the nurturing. So there is something about me you also should know if you're going into a session. I do have a huge mama bear energy And this mama bear is about letting the cubs run and play and do what they do and learn from their, you
Hmm.
know, whatever they do. If they get injured, you don't want them jumping off a cliff or fall. So you keep them so you keep those boundaries, but you keep them very, very, very wide,
Yes.
and you let them go where they're going to go, and you only bring it in when it's just too much,
Hmm.
when there's and they're in a session, you're not going to have grave danger like that.
Right.
But I do come across as a mama bear. We are going to tackle this. There is not anything that our guides can't handle. Nothing. There is
Hmm.
nothing that you're going to experience that our guides can't handle, and we're going to do it together. And I'm going to make sure you get there safely.
Yes, I
And
just
so,
wanted to share about that too, if I could. Just let me jump in there because it's true. I love that you said that mama bear energy because I certainly felt that as well. And I told the group that I had an encounter with my father and my mother who both crossed over, and I could
mm,
feel your mama bear energy just coming up and holding that little one that was so vulnerable that felt
mhm.
like I have to stand up to my dad right now and
Yes,
tell him these things. But you
yes.
totally supported me in that, and I could
And you
feel
did
that.
not want to do that.
Well, I thought I was done. Like I told you, I think at the
Yeah.
end of it, I said, I've done a shitload of work about my father and my mother, and I thought I was done. I really did. And you were like, No, you're doing this." And so I was like, "Okay, we're doing this."